Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Future Fridays as part of our Career Development Month series for the month of November. We have an exciting session planned for you guys this afternoon. Today, it's all about the job hunt. And we're going to be exploring job hunting techniques, how to increase your chances to getting the job that you want. I don't know if you all have ever heard your parents say you have to pound the pavement and send your resume out if you want to get that job interview. Well, is that even relevant today? I mean, what should we be doing now? How do we get to see all the job opportunities that are out there? Where should we even look? Well, don't worry, we have you guys covered this afternoon. We have our speaker, our guest speaker here this afternoon, Michelle Mulcare, and I'm going to introduce you to her by reading a quick bio. So Michelle Mulcare is a marketing and communication director with over 15 years experience in corporate communication, strategic marketing and planning, and managing large-scale investment projects. Michelle previously worked for Government Human Resource Services Company Limited for 5 years. Whilst there, she was instrumental in developing the company corporate responsibility program and the career development program, which consisted of workshops on resume writing, resume critiquing, job search techniques, dressing for success, and interview tips with mock interviews. Michelle also worked with all high commissions and embassies globally where Trinidad and Tobago had representatives. Michelle Marketing Company Limited was established since 2017 with the main objective being to develop young professionals in branding themselves effectively and being successful in their chosen careers. Michelle is a well-renowned trainer, facilitator, motivational speaker, and a career coach with over 1,000 professional events delivered locally, regionally, and internationally. Students and event organizers commend the relaxed, informative, and interactive style used by Michelle when delivering workshops, seminars, and conferences. Michelle's practical take on improving your brand you has encouraged individuals to immediately work on improving their career aspirations. Michelle builds long-standing relationships with her clients to enable them to call on her services as and when needed for interviews and workshops. Michelle's workshops are motivating, informative, and engaging. So we have with us here this afternoon, Michelle Mulcare, and she's going to be sharing with us all her intel on the job hunting process, where to look, how to get started, and how to improve your chances to get that job that you want. So let me turn you over to Michelle. Hi, Michelle, and let's give her a warm welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the webinar. I hope I'm here to address all your queries with job hunting. I have a lot of information in the presentation, so please do take note. But if you have any questions, you could either ask at the end or you could message the chat and we'll be able to address all your queries that you have. I'm here to help you feel more confident when you're job hunting and to take away the fear that people tend to have and to let you know that, yes, there are a lot of opportunities out there. Even through the pandemic, we need to still keep on applying and not to just give up, okay? So I'm gonna just share with you my screen now. Hold on. So today's webinar workshop, we'll look at job search techniques that work, promoting the brand you, getting your dream job, addressing your fears, and some useful job links that work. So please make sure that you take note of the job links because they do actually work. Just giving you a little bit of background. Well, I think Nandi already covered a lot on my bio, so I won't really go over about the company. I think she covered all of that. But I want to find out, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? And this is really important because this kind of gauge the type of job that you're going to be looking for. Yes, you're already at university, you're already doing a program. Have you looked at the different job opportunities that they have for your field, for the different courses that you're doing? It's important to start looking now. You should have started thinking about it when you picked the subject to know what the salary range would be, what type of opportunities are there. But sometimes we get so caught up with exams and completing tasks on time, completing projects, that you forget to look at what type of opportunities are there. So I want you to really think, how do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What do you want for yourself? It's not really about what your parents want for you, what your friends want for you, but where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Yeah? It could be you're graduating from university, you're traveling the world, you could be working in a public sector, having a trade, a professional. You may be having a child, getting married. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? I know a lot of people may have heard about this before, but it's really useful. It's called a vision board. And what this is very easily putting, where do you envision yourself? What do you want to do? Taking pictures and putting it on a board, putting it on a screen, putting it on your phone. And this would be your vision board for what you want. Another way to do that is to also do a mind map, where you're drawing like a circle and you're drawing points and putting down your skills. What skills do you have? So you're writing, like, as I said, it's a circle and you're drawing a line, it's a map, and you're brainstorming, what skills do you have? And this breakdowns your abilities, your knowledge, your experience, your talent. Could it be volunteering? Could it be leadership skills? Could it be working part of a team? Being honest, very methodical. This can kind of gauge the type of jobs that may interest you. And this could guide you when you're looking at different job opportunities out there. First thing is first, you must have a starter pack. What I call a starter pack is, this is information that you need when you're looking for work. So as I said before, think about jobs you might be interested in and the experience you may have for, or even an interest that you have in the various jobs. Make sure you have a resume, ensure it is up to date, and also include a cover letter. I know UWE has a workshop that they're doing with the resume and the cover letter, and they will provide various templates. If you don't already have that, make sure and start working on that. Don't just send a resume. It's always important to include a cover letter as well. If you're doing it online, sometimes they may not give you the opportunity to include a cover letter, but where possible, always include a cover letter with your resume. Look at the job advert. If you look at the newspaper, the job advert says a lot. If you look online, you're looking at the job, it tells you about the job. They're the key points they want you to be aware of. They will highlight in the advert. So it could be, you must have a degree, you must have 2 years experience, you may have various skills that they require, like Microsoft skills, computer skills, typing. They may see the speed, they may say engineering, whatever field, look at the advert. Then once you get the advert, you may have to call up to request a job description or information pack. When you get the job description details what the job would entail. This is practically what your job would be. I know sometimes if you're looking at some public sector jobs, a lot of the job description may not seem like they've been updated for a while, even in some private companies. But that is very important because, as I said, it tells you what the job is. So when you go to do the job, you won't be surprised of the different tasks that they would want you to do, because that in all would be the main body of tasks that you will have to complete. Salary expectation. In Trinidad, they don't tend to advertise the salary. Regionally, down the islands, CARICOM, they tend to advertise the salary range. And also internationally, the salary is more than usual. 100, I'll say 90% of the time advertised. The salary encourage you to apply for the job. There's the compensation package that you will get. And this is what attracts people to the various companies for applying for a job. So this is why a lot of companies tend to advertise it in the job advert, or even when you come to look for the job online, on the newspapers, or at the company, they will tend to advertise the compensation package. What you can do, if you don't have it advertised, you can contact the HR department advertising and ask them for the salary range. They may not tell you the exact salary because they will more than likely say it's dependent on your experience and dependent on your knowledge, that they will start you on various increments or salary points of the scale. So they may tell you the bottom of the scale and they may tell you the top, but they may not tell you the exact salary for the position. You could also, as I said, contact the HR department. If it's a public sector, you can contact Service Commission or the Chief Personnel Office and find out what the salary range is for the position. This will gauge your knowledge to know, do I want to do this role? Do I want to be a teacher? Do I want to be a tutor? Do I want to be an engineer? Do I want to be a project manager? These are kind of incentives that you must get for applying for a job. When you look at the job description, you look at the salary range, you need to think to yourself, is this for me? Because what tends to happen, especially during a pandemic, people just tend to apply, sending out loads of applications. I'm sure you've heard loads of people say, I've sent out absolutely loads of applications. I'm just sending it out. That is not the best way to do it. Because when it comes to a recruiter reviewing your application, a lot of the times it shows that the person doesn't care about the company, they just want a job. Yes, it's good that you're passionate, but it's like, I don't care no matter what, I just want a job. So sometimes it is very important to try and tailor your resume or your application to the job that you're applying for. It could be looking at keywords, looking at what they ask for, and showing how you match that skill, how you have those skills for that job. Yeah. And don't just photocopy your resume or your information. Your certificates, definitely keep the original. Do not give your original to anyone. Let them view it and give it back to you. They will view it as verification. But please, please do not give your original certificates and leave it anywhere. Give them a copy. But your resume and your cover letter should be printed, and it shouldn't just be photocopied, because we see it. Looking for a job is not really cheap. So you need to set a budget for either buying the newspapers, buying a phone card to call employers, buying clothes for your interview, or travel to the interview. Even if you're getting the newspaper online for the subscription, there is going to be a fee. So you just have to be mindful of that. So set a budget and kind of review it regularly. For the month, think about how much you spent, how many applications you've been called for an interview for. Look at reviewing the ways that you're applying for a job. Look at tweaking the techniques that you're using. Could you do more? What do we need to revisit? And all of this we'll be talking about today. Use your network, and I will be talking about this throughout. Again, these are the starter pack for job hunting. Use your network. Tell them the job you want, because you usually sometimes will tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your friend, and they'll say, hey, we have an opening here. So sometimes it's important to let them know the type of job that you want to do. Yeah. As I said, tell your network, tell them the jobs you want to do, tell them the profession and what jobs that you're interested in. Yeah. The next thing, what HR looking for? Don't make the employer have to dig through your resume or your CV, your curriculum vitae, to find out your information, to find out your experience. Yes, there's a layout, but highlight your strengths, your personal strengths at the beginning, your personal profile. What is the best thing you want everyone to know about you, about your experience, your skill? Look at, as I said, I'm not going to go into depth. Look at 3 samples to have for your resume: chronological order, functional, and combination. We have workshops that will be assisting students to do the resumes. So if you have any queries on that, just remember the 3 types of resumes that you can have and let them help you with it. Talk about your experience, your longevity in the role, even if you don't have work experience, because this is one thing that a lot of young professionals say. I have no work experience. Why are they asking for work experience? I've been at college, I've been school, sixth form, university. Where they expect me to get the experience? Talk about your skills you've learned at university or whilst you're doing volunteering. It could be your project work, your teamwork, it could be your leadership skills, it could be you could be a treasurer for your community group. Think about those skills and highlight them. Yeah, because you have experience, but people don't tend to highlight those roles. And this is what employers are looking for. We're aware when we look at a resume, not everyone's going to have any work experience. Not everyone's going to go to university and work. Sometimes people are just straight going school, as I said, school, sixth form, college, university. So we're aware of that. It's about how you highlight yourself and how you reflect on your resume and in your interview. If you're working, again, we look at your longevity in a role. There's some resumes we look at where people are very career hopping. So they may stay 1 month and they don't stay in any position. The climate's kind of changed because there's a lot of short-term contracts. And what we, again, when we talk to you, we'll find out why was your contracts all short-term? Is it that you don't have any commitment? Is it that the jobs are not available? When we talk to you in the interview, we'll find that out. Or you can highlight it in your resume to say short-term contracts. So at least we're aware. As I said before, promote your skills, your previous work experience, high profile, reputable companies you work for. Think about highlighting your position, not just the company. Again, if you don't have much work experience, but you have 1 or 2 companies that were really reputable, maybe highlight the company and your job title after. One thing I want people to know, professionals out there, please be aware of your social media accounts. We do, HR, do check your social media account. We check Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. We check everything. We definitely do. We want to know if you're going to fit into the company, if you're going to fit into the team. HR companies in Trinidad don't tend to do it as much as internationally and regionally. They make it their business to find out who is coming to join them. We definitely put that as a tick box. Let's check out their social media account. Yeah. It's like if you're traveling to America, one of the things they ask now is that they want your social media account details. You so want to get to your vacation, or you're going to say, yeah, I'll give you my social media account. But then if you have a lot of negative things when it comes to renewing your visa or anything, that could be like a red flag on your account. So please be aware of your social media. Put privacy blockings, know who your friends are. Don't just click to like everybody. If you make connections on LinkedIn, make sure it's professional discussions. Make sure you keep it professional. They're not your friend. Even your friends, be mindful of who you have access in your social media account. Who could post to your feed, your news feed? Because are you happy for anybody to post anything? It could be a joke that you don't approve. It could be a picture taken of a crime scene that you don't really want people to share. So be mindful of that. Because as I said, when you're looking for work, sometimes we do look at your social media pages. What makes you stand out? And I want you to think about that, even with your friends. What makes you different to your friends? Is it your personality? Is it your leadership skill? Is it your organizational skill? What makes you stand out? And now I want you to look at your resume and think, what will make me stand out? For one position, the salary wasn't very high. I'll say it was minimum wage. I got over 500 applications. This was for a clerk typist. Why? To go through 500 applications and choose one person, you have to stand out. So think about, why should we hire you? Look at your resume. What will make it stand out from the others, right? Why would we invite you for a job? As I said, HR receives, as well as myself, over 500 resumes for admin job. Supervisor positions, about 200 applications we get. Management, 100 plus, depending on the role, the experience, the requirement. HR spends 30 seconds skimming resumes, 30 seconds. You know how long it takes to actually design your resume. I could tell you, even tweaking my bio, tweaking my resume, it's like, ugh, I don't like doing it, but I do it because I want the job or I want the experience, I want the project. So, yes, it's 30 seconds, but make their 30 seconds worth looking more into your application. Let them want to see more. I want to know more about this person. They're going to invite you in for an interview. Yeah. Your first impressions count for brand new. So when you're doing a resume, again, I'm not going to go into too much depth. If it's a postal resume, make sure it's hand delivered, or if it's hand delivered hard copy, make sure you have good quality paper, Conqueror paper, good envelope. Doesn't always have to be the brand envelopes you see everyone having. You could use a white envelope. There's no rule with that. But what we do ask is that the paper's clean, fresh, not marks on it, not dirty. Make sure they sign to say they received it, because you want to make sure it reached the named person. So find out who the HR person is, find out their name, and make sure you put that in the address. If it's an online resume or resume video, I have some links here. Again, make sure it's clear, it's short, it's concise, and you're actually promoting yourself. Look at colors. If you're going for legal professions, you can't have like pink and bright colors. If you're into marketing, creative professions, yes, you could be more flamboyant and use colors. So think about the job you're applying for, and you could use designs if it's in those creative industries. Job search techniques. This is one page screen I really want you to take note of. Set aside time for looking for work and be consistent. Check daily, because sometimes we advertise different jobs, different days of the week, in different newspapers. So be consistent, or at least 4 times a week. I know it can get very tiresome. Make sure that you at least try and be consistent. One thing that I do, and I think is really useful, is to set job alerts. So I will register with various job companies, online job companies, and ask them to send me a job alert. And even companies you want to work for, like American Airlines or Digicel, they have alerts that they could send you for various jobs that you're interested in. And these are all things that you have to do. I will say this is another tick box. Put this as part of your job search process. Find out the companies you want to work for, go on their website, look at the type of jobs they have advertising. If they advertise the positions online and they have the opportunity to apply online, apply. If they have the opportunity to do job alerts, because your job may not be advertised at the time, but they may advertise it a day when you're not looking and the alert come to you, use your smartphone to maybe apply online, apply on the move. I've done that whilst in a taxi, apply for a job, and I was successful in getting the interview and getting the job. So you don't have to be at home in front of your computer. Use your phone, use the technology that you have for applying for your jobs. You should know your resume in your mind. You should know your skills. You know everything about you. Your resume is about you. It's not talking about someone else. So you should be able to highlight your skills, your key abilities or key knowledge, your experience on your job application form. So you should be able to do it at short notice. Yeah. Have a diary where you write down all the jobs you apply for. Believe me, this is something very key. Again, I'm going to say have a diary, whether it's an online diary or notes, or if you have a hard copy diary, make sure you write down the jobs you apply for. What I also recommend you do is keep a copy or folder with the advert, the job description, the resume that you submitted, and any other research information that you find out about the position. Yeah, it could be you looked at the media release, the annual reports, whatever information that you get, save it in that folder. So when you're called for an interview, you go to that folder and you already have the information, and you're more prepared. It helps you with your preparation for the interview. Newspapers. Companies don't advertise in all the newspapers because of the cost. So what they will tend to do is advertise, dependent on the role, in the newspaper that's more fitting with the role or according to their budget. So for instance, they may advertise in The Guardian and Newsday, or Express and Newsday, vice versa. Um, Express has the highest readership, but it depends on people's readership style. Don't just go for your readership style. Think about the company that you want to work. Where do you think they would advertise? Contact the HR department. Ask them, where do you advertise? So at least you can set your sight on reviewing those papers or trade journals. And when I say trade journals, dependent on the field that you're in, you will have various booklets, various magazines, like we have marketing magazines, you have engineering magazines, project management magazines. Get them, join the various groups, because they advertise vacancies there, various jobs, they have current affairs, they have various debates, and this is the type of information you need to keep and you need to review as part of your research when you're looking for a job in the field. Yeah. Online job sites. You have various online job sites. As I said before, you've got Caribbean Jobs, Jobs TT, Trinidad Jobs, Trinidad Vacancies. You've got the various ministries um, um, where they advertise on their HR or their job sites, their job pages. So look at the various industries. You could always go to TT Connect, which has a list of the various ministries that we have. If you're regional or international, you can again look at the various public sector ministries that they have and look and see where they advertise and what type of positions they have. Ensure your profile, as I said, is up to date. So when you're advertising or when you're applying for these positions, not advertising, sorry, you already could just send it off to these various job sites. We sometimes have recruitment headhunters. If they like the work you're doing, or for instance, you're an outstanding student at university, they may contact your teachers, your lecturers, to recommend you for a project that they're doing, or to recommend you volunteer, go for an internship, or apply for a position. This tends to happen a lot, more than people know. So beware of that. This is why your connection, your network, your performance at university is very important. Recruitment agencies that we have locally are Regency Recruitment, Eve Anderson, and PMSL. We have more, and my job links after will give you the links for those as well. Online, I know you are going to do a workshop on setting up a profile on LinkedIn. This is very important. Not a lot of people are aware of LinkedIn. LinkedIn is like a professional Facebook. And as I said, they advertise jobs there. You could apply for the position. Also, you can make connections with people who are high up, who are actually recruiting, HR, the CEOs. They're all on LinkedIn. But make sure your connection is a professional connection. Don't be just like, hey, how you doing? Happy birthday, things like that. Remember, it's a professional connection. Google also advertise jobs. A lot of people actually get jobs through Google. So look at their job pages as well. And Facebook. A lot of people advertise various positions on Facebook. Be mindful though of the information. Again, I'm telling you that you share on the social media online profile. Networking events, you have networking fairs, virtual events, virtual seminar, volunteer groups. They're also good avenues to make that connection, that meaningful connection. So definitely attend them, get involved. Don't just attend them for attendance sake to make up numbers. Get something out of it. Brainstorm, I'm attending this event, but what do I want from it? Find out who the attendees are. You can get the attendees list. Can I make a meaningful connection? Make a top 3 who you want to actually see at the career fairs, at the virtual events that you have. And I know at the moment, due to the pandemic, things have stopped, the Public Health Ordinance Act, but internationally, things are still moving. Regionally, the Public Health Ordinance Act is a bit more relaxed. So you are having more events happening now. Have a top 10 dream list of companies you want to work for. Again, have a top 10. Where do you want to work? What job do you want? And call them, call the HR companies, visit them, See if you like the culture, if you like how it is, the fit. Do you want to be there? Call. I will say call the HR company and find out, do you have a vacancy? How can I get a job there? How did you get a job? Build that professional relationship with the HR person. Build that lasting relationship. As I said before, look at the newspapers, look at the job adverts. We'll go through that. And this is a page I really want you all to look at. Setting up your online profile. Take a screenshot of this page. Yeah. This highlights to you, various companies that you can actually apply to. You have Caribbean Jobs, Jobs TT, Trinidad Jobs, Trinidad Vacancies, Eve Anderson, Progressive.com, Eastman and Associates. And I've used them, believe me. Some are better than others, but I will leave you to make your own decision. Yeah. Internationally, what really works, and they provide career advice as well. They also have some templates, but be mindful, some of the information is not updated. You have Glassdoor.com internationally, Indeed.com. A lot of people use these sites. Experta.com, Monster.com. Take a screenshot of this page. It's really, really useful. All right. And I want to hear about your experiences using any of these companies, any of these agencies. What was it like? Was it negative? Was it positive? Were they helpful? I recommend to students, don't pay unless you really, really have to. A lot of information's out there that you could do it yourself. So use paying to get somebody to help you to find a job as a last resort. Yeah. Try and do it for yourself. If you really can't, then, utilize paying to get some assistance, but try and do it yourself. There's the basics you can do. If you can't do it and you need some help, maybe talk about what you need help with. And again, today we could discuss that. One of the things I want you to do, I was going to do breakout rooms, but I decided not to. Select a few agencies from the link and set up a profile. So as you saw on the link before, set up a profile at least with 3 agencies and tell us about what the thought process was. You can contact me after, you can contact the career engagement team at UE and let them know how your experience was. Yeah. Again, take a note of this page. I want you to see what a professional video resume looks like, because this is something that you can use. And it's something that you should at least have, as part of your job hunting tools. A video resume, so if they need it, and it's a technical company, you will send that more than just a hard copy resume. Yeah. A lot of people applying for jobs come for an interview, and when we set an assessment, they're like, oh, I didn't know there was going to be a test. I'm not interested. Why not? Don't let that be a barrier for you applying for a job. The assessment is simply basic. It's usually a case study, a scenario about the position, an English or maths test, which is usually the basic, or it's assessment of the role. A lot of time they will also do a psychometric testing. So you can go online and you could practice on psychometric testing, and it will find out about your personality. So it would kind of help you when you're looking for a job. If you have patience, if you don't have patience, if you're good working with team, working on your own, and it can kind of guide you to know what type of jobs to apply for. Yeah. You could take a screen print of this. These are some YouTube videos, again, that I want you to have a look at. Yeah. Next thing we're going to go on, I'll go back so you can take a screenshot. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to add it in the chat, and we will be addressing it when the career team says to. Yeah. Career power dressing for the job. Again, this is very important that you set a budget for your attire. You may buy clothes in the sales, use charity shops, flea markets, or borrow an outfit from your family if you need that perfect outfit for a job. But it's important that you power dress for your job. Know what you want to look. As I said, how you want to look, how you want to feel. You want to be confident when you go for that job. So it's important that you feel comfortable. Make sure your shoes are comfortable, your outfit's fresh, clean, iron. You smell good. Make sure that you're confident in whatever you're wearing. This, I will say, is a budget, and we reviewed it a few weeks ago. I know things are going up, but I'll say about 1,300 for a jacket for a man. A shirt will be about 200, shoes about 200. And I want to get your feedback on this. You think, is it too little bit? Is it too much? Let us know what you think. It's $1,000 a man for, approximately budget for an interview. Let us know. Woman clothing. I would say we can get into 850, 950. Again, I want to hear your views. Yeah. A jacket about 300, a shirt 200, skirt 250. Tight, I hate tights, especially in this weather, but it looks really professional when you're going for an interview. It looks nice and it fits well. So maybe just for the interview, you invest in a tights. That's me, but for you. Shoes 200, pants 300, dress, and it depends. You don't have to have all of this. I do say if you're going for an interview, have a nice dress, a jacket, a dress and a jacket, or a pantsuit, whatever you feel comfortable in, right? Research the company and the style. How do they dress? Don't just dress if they have a relaxed style. Remember, you're going for an interview. So you don't want to look like if you just fit into the team. You want to stand out, but not stand out like you're dressing like a bride and a groom going to a wedding, but stand out, you, as I said, confident, your walk's confident, your clothes, it has a look. You would know when you look in the mirror, you would know what you looked in, right? Like we used to say, your Sunday best. What is your Sunday best? What is your best? What is the best you'll wear to your favorite party or your birthday outfit? Don't wear anything don't wear anything revealing to an interview, but just think about something that is really nice and confident, yeah, that you feel it. Dress appropriately for the job you're applying for, but always professional. Do not wear clothes just because it's trendy in style, like joggers or tight pants or tight skirt or tight jacket, short, wear the clothes suitable for the role. Linen and satins are no because it just looks rumpled, like it's not iron, it looks improper. You see the sweat stains, or it's just not appropriate for an interview. As I said, tight clothing is never appropriate. Too big clothing and shoes can have the same effect. It looks like, hey, when the shoes are too big and you're just saying tick tock tock, and your foot's flipping in and out, it looks like you borrowed the shoes or the shoes are stretched. Think about things that you can do to make sure that it fits well. Excessive jewelry and makeup. Again, when you're going for an interview, tone down the jewelry, tone down the makeup. When you're in the position and dependent on the role, you can wear the makeup to suit. You could be more creative, you're more colors. As I said, I'm marketing, so I'm all about colors and creativity. So, but I have my position and I'm applying for the role. I may tone down my makeup, tone down a lot of the things that I will do now that I have the job. Yeah. And again, I want to hear your views. Have you been for an interview and your first impression their eyes didn't connect well with you? I want to hear your views. What do you think of this gentleman and this young lady? How do you think they look? Is this a look that you would want for when you go for an interview? Yes, we're in a hot country, but you cannot, as a man, you cannot go for an interview with a short sleeve shirt. You still need to wear a long sleeve. The tie, you don't have to have it too tight, but yes, you do need a tie. Yeah. Think about different looks that you can have. Yeah. Talked about networking or connecting. I would say it's important to role play at home or role play with your friends. Before, we used to have various cocktail events, various networking events, various companies used to do it as a way to meet new graduates. New graduates are prized, new students are prized properties. You know why? You have fresh knowledge and experience that companies want to have working for them, because you're coming with new ideas, not old static ideas that's not being developed. So they want you, they want to hear from you. So be mindful when you go to connect that you don't just give all your trade secrets. Leave some things for the interview, but give them a taster that they want to find out more. Have some questions that you want to ask them. Again, have 3 questions when you go into these type of events that you want to do. These, because of the pandemic, we're doing it virtually, but again, you will still be able to ask questions, but ask key questions. Don't just ask a question for asking sake. Think about it, write it down, talk it in your mind, then ask it. Yeah. Who to network with or who to connect with. As I said, you have your family and friends. Tell them the different jobs that you're interested in. You have professional associations. Please join them. For whatever course you're doing, join the professional associations. It could be legal, it could be architects, it could be marketing, project management. Join the various professional associations that you will get the magazines, you will get the news alerts, you will get the information, attend some of the seminars, attend some of the conferences. Yes, as again, they're virtual. So the bonus with this pandemic, you can go anywhere in the world. You don't have to go there physically. You could join a seminar online or webinar and still get the information. So this is one of the bonus of the pandemic, that we can go anywhere in the world and we don't have to literally jump on a plane, because a lot of borders are still closed. So at least use this opportunity to engage with various professional associations and get some information from them. Follow up on your university or work contacts, or even from school and from sixth form, yeah, or college. Follow up on them. A lot of people are making waves in the world, setting up as entrepreneurs. They may think, here what? I'm fed up looking for work. I'm going to set up as an entrepreneur. They may be the ones offering you an opportunity to help them in building their company, to help them in marketing their company, developing it, doing the programs for their company, or assisting them. Or you tell them, work with a list of entrepreneurs and tell them, how can I benefit your company? Tell them how you'll be useful for them. Would it be setting up a program for them, making them more methodical, doing their bookkeeping? How can you sell your services? So yes, you're looking for work, but you're also helping an entrepreneur, and you're using your entrepreneurial skills as well to help other people who have businesses. So it's about thinking out of the box. And this is why I say the vision board, the mind map helps, because when you break down your skills, you start tapping into all your skills to get a job or to engage in various opportunities. Not just, oh, I've gone to university to study marketing, I'm only going to do marketing. No. I've gone to do project management, I'm only looking for project management. No, look at other roles. Think about what skills you learn at university. As I said, project management, presentation, teamwork, doing budgets. You learn so many things. Don't take it for granted. Utilize it. Join places like YTEP, the alumni. Get involved with your community groups virtually or through volunteering in your church, community. Think about how you can help more. Do cold calling to companies, as I said before. And I want you to take a picture of this link. Again, it's just a YouTube link on networking, the do's and don'ts. And I want you to learn from it. It may seem like a joke, but it does happen. So take a note of it and learn from it. All right. I chose not to play the videos that I have the links for. And the reason for that, I want to get your question and address your question. So the links you could use and you could view in your own time, but I want to find out your job hunting fairs, your techniques, your annoyance, or I want to know how I can help you more. This is why I chose to engage with you more this way. As I said before, job hunting locally, regionally, internationally does have a difference. Locally, I used to hear it before, and I sometimes didn't believe it, but it is the truth. It's about your contacts. Yes, your education is a very, very key, and your experience, but Locally, they tend to play a lot for your education. Sometimes you may have trades experience and not so much the education. You may not have the grades. So it's about you highlighting what you do have and letting them feel and the company think, I need to have you work for me. So downplay, maybe you got a 4 in maths and you really know they need a 3. Let them know what other skills you have. I'm working on getting the 3. I'm still studying up for it, but this is the other skills that I have that could benefit your company. Let them know how you would be ideal for them. So you're turning around the negative and making it a positive, how you can make it positive. Yeah. Use all your contacts. Contacts is key. Be mindful of political be mindful that you're not just aligned to one political party, because you don't want, okay, PNM's in power, I'm only going to get a job when PNM's in power, UNC is in power, only when UNC is in power. No, you want to be working all the time. So just be mindful of that. Yes, we all have the party that we favor, but just be mindful when you're looking for work, you have the answer to say that no matter who's in power, you'll be willing to work with them. Just be mindful of that. Regionally, cultural difference do come into play, political loyalties. Again, as I said, be creative in your answer when you're talking about it in your job hunt. Internationally, experience is key. Education is not as a priority as it is in locally and regionally. Internationally, they want to know how much experience you have. So it's about you selling them your experience to them. As I said, look at all the skills you have, all the experience you gain, whether it's community, college, school, university. Talk about that, especially when you're looking to go abroad or expand your career internationally. The salary and compensation package tends to dictate if a person applies for the job or not. And this should be for you as well. Don't just go for the basic job, aim high. Sometimes step out of the boundaries. Apply for a job that you never think you'll get and get the feedback. A lot of times, HR companies locally are very lazy to give feedback. They have they should be given feedback, because that's why they take the notes of the interview. Call them up and tell them whether or not, if you wasn't successful, I want to find out where I went wrong. I want to learn from all the jobs I apply for so I can improve. So contact them, ask them to review your application, to review your interview notes, and to give you feedback. Don't be frightened. Contact them. There you would also be building a relationship, because your name will now be top of their head, because they now have to think about you and go back and revisit your interview, revisit your interview note. So then if another opportunity arises, they may call you, depending on how your dialogue with them. So always remember, even if you're asking for feedback, try and keep it professional. Don't be like, I want to hear how I do. Give me my notes. You meant to and you was writing it down. No, don't be hoggish. Try and be professional at all times, because I'm telling you, Trinidad is very small regionally as well. People know each other. I'm sure you've been on Facebook and you will see, oh, this one's that one, that friend. This one's linked to that one. When you connect the dots and you see how many people's linked to one person, mutual friends, you'll be amazed. What is their impression of you? What would somebody say about you if they hear your name? Think about how would an employer, if they hear your name, what would they think? Yeah. I have a kind of different surname, Mulcare. So when people hear my name, they start saying, oh, I know a Mulcare from South. Or I know a Mulcare who's a priest. And that name rings a bell. They don't forget. So you have to be mindful. What do people remember about you? What do I want people to remember about me? Do I want it to be positive? So when you're job hunting, your character, your brand, you is important. Make sure that you protect your brand. Don't put your name to any and anything. So when you're applying for jobs, know what you're applying for. Do I want to work for that company? Does it fit into my career aspirations? Think about it. Yes, we all need the money to survive, bills and everything, to pay them, but think before you apply. Don't just apply any and anywhere. All right. As I said, I think I've covered a lot. Build relationship with HR people within the company that can sing you praise. They will look out for your resume. Network, connect, network. Know your resume by heart, that you can talk about it. over the phone, because a lot of times we utilize telephone interview as a short listing process before we call you in for a face-to-face interview, or before we even tell you to do an online interview, because we just have so many people. The telephone interview will let us know the type of person you are, how you deal with people over the phone, and various things, right? Have an elevator pitch. Like, what I call an elevator pitch is if you go in an elevator and you meet somebody like a celebrity, what are the three things you want to talk to them about? How would you interact with them? How would you introduce yourself to them? What would you ask them? So kind of have that in your mind. Somebody you don't know that you admire, what would you ask them? How would you relate to them? Yeah. Spell check and grammar check your resume, and your packaging and your portfolio of your work. Remember, all of these things are your brand. When you're sending a resume, it's your brand. Make sure it's clean, and your print, your type, your font. Don't make the font too small. Make the print that they could read, highlight, and things like that. All right. Okay, so I've reached a point where we say, let's talk. So, Miss Mitchell, can I hand over to you?
Guys, we have got you covered. Trust me, attend our workshops. Try to attend as much as possible so you can get your questions in, so you can get the contacts, email for our presenters. That's only if you come to these sessions. We don't share that in our video presentations, but come to these sessions is really going to help you to prepare for that transition into the workplace once you all are graduating. If you all are not graduating, you all are continuing, you'll have advanced warning, you'll getting all the information, all the intel. So again, sharing our evaluation link in the chat. Please take a minute to complete. We would really appreciate your feedback. It helps us as we plan in the future. And I just want to say a very warm thank you to Michelle for coming here and sharing with us all her knowledge, all her expertise from her experience as a person who has job hunted in the past and as somebody who's in the field as a consultant, as a career development coach. We really appreciate you. Michelle, there's fire all over the all over the chat, right? Everybody just giving you
Yay,
props,
thank
okay?
you. Thank
So
you.
they really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank
Not
you.
a problem. We loved having you, and we look forward to whatever in the future
Definitely.
holds in terms of working together. And everyone, good afternoon. Have a great evening. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. And we are finished for this afternoon.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.